was a good time.
Right. You ended up jumping on the remix for Pharoah Monch's Simon Says. How did that come about?
Well, we had the same management, and they asked me to be on the remix. But when I laid my verse, wasn't nobody in the studio. I think later Busta Rhymes came. I seen him laying some of his verse. He was laying his verse in the dark.
Mm.
He had all the lights off in the studio laying his verse. But yeah, I mean, it's a good joint.
Did you feel any pressure knowing that Red and Meth and Pharaoh were bringing their A game? You just did your
I
thing?
didn't I didn't know who was gonna be on that song.
Ah,
I didn't know anything until I heard it later. And actually the first pass that I heard, they had my verse on there off beat. So now like that's really one of my pet peeves. Like when you move my vocals and it be off, I be like, shit drive me crazy. You know what I mean?
right.
Yup. So the first, like the test pressing I heard, like my verse was all off. I was like, yo, what the hell happened? But then later they shifted it and got it on for the release. Yeah.
Dope. What kind of reaction did you get for that when that hit the streets? And were you entertaining any label offers, bidding wars at this time?
Nah, by then I was already signed to Rawkus. I already had the album deal going.
Okay.
You know. Yep.
You went on to record tracks with Sporty Thieves, Mr. Complex on the label, as well as the CD, or excuse me, the single 3D. What eventually happened to the situation over at Rawkus?
Uh, I had a clause in my contract that was like, it's called a pay or play provision. So it was like either they had to put out my album at a certain time, or they had to let me go and pay me. So I opted for the latter. You know what I mean? And then I left Rawkus and did an album with Raptivism. You know, but I couldn't leave with none of those records. I had like 3 records with Sporty Thieves that were fire too. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Marlon Brando. But I had like 3 records with them that was really dope. I had a couple dope records for that album, but I couldn't leave with it, so it is what it is.
Right. Some of the best memories of being on that label.
Just the camaraderie and you know running around doing different shows and different records. You know, but it was crazy up there, man. It was a lot of things going on. That I ain't gonna talk about, but yeah, it was crazy.
Are you able to talk about why you think the label ended up failing in the end?
I think I think they failed because they was trying to be too much like a major label after a while. You know what I mean? They started spending too much bread on stupid stuff. People started taking flights and cars everywhere. I think they got real gassed up after the success of Mos Def's record and Big L's record, which both
Okay.
went gold. So once they went gold, they it felt like they wanted to be Def Jam instead of you know concentrating on the key artists that they had. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Company Flow, me. You know what I mean? And just keeping it organic. You
Right.
know.
Let me get something real quick.
And then they had other investors that they brought in Rupert Murdoch's son. I don't know if that really had it, made an effect, but I wasn't on the inside. Like I was just an artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't know the inner workings of what was going on. You know, who
Right.
was investing, where the money was coming from. Because it went from an independent, and then all of a sudden they was trying to be Def Jam and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But I'm thankful for that time, and it is what it is. I'm able to do what I'm doing today because of all those records. Sound Bomb at 1, Sound Bomb at 2. Lyricist Lounge, all the 12 inches. It's good.
After Raucous, where does Shabaam Sahdeeq find itself?
In jail. Word.
Interesting.
I mean, I did the record with Raptivism, and then I caught a charge.
Okay,
So
let's back up a little bit. We'll talk about the charge in a minute. You ended up getting with Cool G Rap for No Surrender. How did that happen?
basically, we was doing a record for this for the soundtrack of this movie called Jails, Hospitals, and Hip Hop, and it was a comedian, I forgot his name, that was doing the movie, and we did that record for that soundtrack, and then the movie ended up not happening, and we just used the song as a release. You know what I mean? It came out as a white label. I see it on YouTube now. It says Alchemist remix, but Alchemist really didn't remix it. That was the original beat. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Yeah.
right.
G Rap. I was in the studio with G Rap when we recorded that. It wasn't no send files back in them days. You wasn't too much of files being sent. You know what I mean? He was
Right.
definitely in the studio with me in cutting room. You know? And he
How,
laid that verse in like 10 minutes.
mm,
Or
so, how long between getting off of Raucous and landing at Raptivism? What kind of timeline are we saying here?
man, I don't even remember. Maybe like a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you end up over at Raptivism?
Hmm. I did a song for an album they had. Um, it was a compilation album. It was about No More Prisons. Yeah, that's what it was called. I did a song for that, and then we developed a relationship, and then I recorded that album, Never Say Never. Yeah, but then I ended up in prison when it was time to promote that album.
Mm. Are you
Yeah.
able to talk about the reasons behind the stint or even care to go into it?
Nah, I
Okay.
don't be
I
talking about
respect
those
that.
type things.
No doubt. I
Well,
respect that. Some of the best memories of putting that, would you consider that your debut album, The Raptivism?
yeah, pretty much, because I never released the one with Raucous.
Right.
A lot of people be asking me, "Oh, what's up with those? What's up with those files? Like, why not release that album?" I'm like, nah, you know, it's good. I'm over it.
Right.
Probably later down the line, I'll release it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got the dad tapes.
For you youngsters.
Well,
Can you talk about your relationship and how you linked up with DJ Revolution for your projects?
I don't remember how that came about. You know what I mean? But that was when I first came home. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Howie McDuffie. He used to work at Raucous, so when I came home, he wanted to put that together. Yeah. And really like that album that I did with Revolution, whether it was a mixtape, was just a bunch of songs that I was experimenting with when I first came home. And they
Okay.
took it and just some of them were unmixed. And they just made a mixtape out of it and released it. Yeah.
Was Lord of War project official?
Lord of War, yeah. Lord of
Okay.
War, I did that with Thorough Tracks. That was
Okay.
another one of my releases when I first came home. Yeah.
Okay. What was your
I,
train of thought? What was your train of thought coming home and getting back to the studio?
I mean, it was crazy because going in, the internet wasn't as prevalent. You know what I mean? So when I came out, then it was MySpace and you know internet. Everything was internet heavy. You
Right.
know what I mean? Leading into what we got going on now. So I had to make that transition. I had to learn how to use the computer. And
Right.
get computer literate. I'm still learning. You know what I mean?
as we all are daily,
Mm-hmm. Cause stuff keep changing. Yeah.
constantly.
Mm-hmm.
What led up to the reunion with the group, Polyrhythm Addicts, and how did that come about? And also, I believe there's a new member at this time.
Yeah, definitely. Complex brought Ty Phoenix to the table. You know what I mean? I don't think Apani was trying to record at that time, or she was doing something else, but you know what I mean? She wasn't interested in doing the polyrhythmatic thing at that time. So, you know, we got Ty Phoenix, and Ty Phoenix did a thing. You know what I mean? It was a good album. I think it's a classic album. Break Glass. We
Absolutely.
recorded at Spinner's house, as
Okay.
always. Yeah.
Best memories? Was it just like getting back with the group, or were things a little different?
No, it was cool, man. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
definitely cool. For me, it was getting back in the swing of things, and just putting that work out there. You know, it was a good time performing and recording. That's it.
so can you talk a little bit about your 2014 release, Keepers of the Lost Art, which ended up getting Best Indie Album at the Underground Music Awards?
That's my favorite album. That's one of my favorite releases. You know what I mean? Um, it took a while to make that album. I actually was working on those songs for like a good 2 years, 3 years before I released it. That's why there's 23 songs on that joint. You know what I mean? So that was like a build up. You know, I was experimenting with mixtapes. I dropped 6 Degrees of Separation. You know, different mixtapes. You know, Off Parole was an album. It started off as a mixtape, but I think that one is the one where I nailed it, where I got it right. You know what I mean? And I won the Underground Hip Hop Awards that year. Yep.
Very dope. Before we get to Timeless of the Collection, what other mixtapes are involved and what other projects, for those who are searching, we may have overlooked? What other projects were you involved with between 14 and 18? That many, huh?
Um, Definitely Off Parole, Degrees of Separation. Um, I had a couple of mixtapes where you know, DJ Ready C mixed uh, all my collaborations with different artists and made a compilation out of it. There's a few mixtapes. Yeah.
Quite a few. I was doing some research. I was like, this guy's got a lengthy discography out here.
Yeah, definitely did a lot of features between 11 and 18. A lot
Okay.
of features. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that Timeless of the Collection project?
Timeless of the collection. I was trying to capture that Keepers of the Lost Art again. You know what I mean? And it definitely worked. You know, it's some good pieces on that. I'm actually releasing a vinyl soon. You know, the pre-orders are up. It's on my website. You know, it should ship in August. You know, by this
Very dope.
label called Hip Hop Real out of Spain.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot
Most
of
recent.
joints on there.
Go ahead.
Um, Joints with Razkaz, Master Ace. Uh, you know what I mean? Pause One, El Gon. A lot of good joints on there. Yeah.
Most recently, Precious Stones with J57. Can you talk about that project a little bit?
Me and J57 got together, you know, and we took our time and made a masterpiece, man. Precious Stones is another one of my favorite projects as well. You know what I mean? A lot of good joints on there. We actually had a tour for that album hooked up, and then you know the pandemic hit, so we put it on ice. But we actually picking it up again on the 16th of this month. Yep.
Okay.
Precious Stones is my latest release. Yeah.
Where can the viewers find that at?
It's on all of DSPs, all the digital streaming services. You know what I
Okay.
mean? We definitely releasing a hard copy for that. I got a label out of Austria that's doing the CDs. We're doing like 300 limited CDs of Precious Stones. Hopefully we do the vinyl in the future.
Okay.
You
Outside of music, you've been working in the art world. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I've always been working on art in the background. You know what I mean? Painting, doing different canvases and stuff. Yeah, I got a mean collection of paintings. I'm gonna do an art show soon. I'm just trying to find the right venue so we could bust it open. Yeah.
Anything currently available? Any sites that we can go to pick up some Shabam artwork?
Nah, I haven't put none of the new stuff out there, but I do have an art page on IG. It's called SDub Art NYC. So it got some of my older stuff on there. But a lot of the new stuff I've been keeping under wraps. So when I do this new art show, people will be like, "Oh, he been working."
No
Yeah,
doubt. You're also an event curator.
yeah. I'll be doing a few events. I had an event called It's Alive in New York. It ran for like a good 6 years
Oh wow.
until I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So yeah, I do different events here and there. Yeah, we about to pick it up again in October and do A3C.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got in plans? What can we look forward to as far as events from Shabam?
I'm gonna keep it on the hush for now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it
Right.
on the hush. But we do got that tour that starts on the 16th. My first show is in Yuma, um, Arizona, and the second show is in Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Mainly a West Coast tour, if I can remember.
Yeah, Southwest, West Coast. Yep. We're doing Salt Lake City, and then we coming back to LA and doing a few days. Yeah.
Okay. You also owner of a barbershop.
Yep. Blade King's Barbershop.
Take us
The
back to
finest.
how. Take us back to the beginning stages and how that all came about.
I mean, I started cutting hair in prison. So, when I came home, that was the best job for me to get without having to do a background search. You know what I mean? So I started off at Levels in Harlem, and then I moved on to different barbershops. But this is the first one that I own. So it was a transition, you know what I'm saying? It was a
Right.
slow rise, yeah.
Are you looking to have chains out there?
Nah, not really. Not really. Right now I'm just focused. I'm focused on the music and I'm focused on making my clothing line jump off. You know, the barber thing is cool, but I don't think I'd have more than two. You know what I mean?
Right.
Two barbershops here. I want to open one closer into the city, like closer to Atlanta. Because right now my barbershop is maybe like 35 minutes east of Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
So I want to open one closer for my people that come in town. You know what I mean? They're able to support. Yeah. But as far as a chain, nah. I'd rather have a chain of clothing stores.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh, Outside of music, is there any other avenues that Shabam is looking to pursue?
Nah, those are the avenues right there. I'm trying to make Marvial Apparel jump off. So Marvial Apparel on Instagram, marvialapparel.com. That's what I'm focused on right now. That and just keeping the barbershop running. And that's it. And doing these tours and making good new music.
No doubt. Looks like Aunt Marshall joined the chat. Any good memories about Aunt Marshall and Lyricist Lounge days?
Of course. You know what I mean? A lot of shows where I'm bugging them to get on the mic, like, yo, let me get on the mic, let me get 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Wetlands, all them dope venues, man. Tramps, word up. Matter of fact, we performed at Tramps, um, Polyrhythmatics. I forgot who the headliners, but that was the last time I saw Big L. I think that was like 99 at Tramps. Yep. That was a
Dope.
Lyricist Lounge jump off. And backstage was crazy. It was Big L, it was Camp Low, it was, you know, a whole bunch of people back there. That were them times right there. Yeah.
Would you consider that the end of an era, 99?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Big L is no longer with us. Tramps is shut down. So yeah, definitely that was, coming towards the end of the era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been in the game well over 25 years. What keeps Shabaam inspired to keep writing?
I live this shit. I love it. Love hip hop. You know what I mean? I love creating, you know, in many different aspects of hip hop. You know what I mean? So that's what keep me going. I like just creating and traveling. Traveling is definitely one of the pluses of this thing we do here. Reaching out to different people in different states, different countries.
Right.
Yeah, that's what keep
Uh,
me going.
it's 2021. How do you feel about the state of hip hop?
I be seeing a lot of people complaining online, oh this, that, that. I feel like it's good right now. I mean, if you know what you like, it's available for you. You know what I mean? You gotta dig for what you like, support what you like, and stop complaining about the whack shit and support the dope shit. That's it. I feel like it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's wide open right now. The internet is a gift and a curse. It feels like, everybody wants to do it now, but at the same time, all the tools are there, to reach different people in different continents. So for me, it's good. It's a lot of underground artists doing their thing, a lot of mainstream artists. The lines are kind of being blurred a little bit now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I
Right.
love it. I can't complain. You know,
You
I'm
talked
still able
about
to do my stuff.
you talked about a few of the projects you're working on. What can we look forward to in the future from Shabaam Sahdeeq?
Me and Nick Wiz are finally gonna drop a album together after many years of recording. We dropped a video called Thundering. You know, with the South Park theme. You know what I mean? And we just dropped the second single called "Watch Your Mouth" with my brother UG on it, and Christ DV Elias Christ. And you know, I'm looking forward to that dropping. I got another project I'm working on with PA Dre. That's maybe like 80%. I'll say 50% done. You know what I mean? Got a few joints. Um, I'm working on another project with Techzilla. I got like 4 joints for that. Just a bunch of different projects on deck. You know what I mean? To drop in the next year or two. You know?
Very dope. Hey, Shabaam, I want to thank you for everything you've done for the culture. Thank you for joining me. Before we get out of here, can you shout out your social media and everything we can keep up with you at?
ShabamSahdeeq.com first and foremost. That's SHABAAM hyphen SAHDEEQ.com. Then marvialapparel.com. MARVIAL apparel.com. And yeah, pretty much. That's it. Shabaam Sahdeeq on everything. Shabaam Sahdeeq on IG. Shabaam Sahdeeq on Twitter. Shabaam Sahdeeq on Facebook. Think uniform so you can find me. You mean? It's not hard to find me.
Right. For everybody that's been rocking with you over 25 years,
I
is there some? Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
hear you now.
Okay. For everybody that's been
Yeah, I hear
rocking
you.
with you for the past 25 years, is there some last words you can leave those supporters?
Yo, keep supporting. Keep checking out the website. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep updating it. I'm gonna keep dropping music, and that's it. Check for the tours. Check for me in your city. You know, all the promoters out there, definitely hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fill in a lot of these dates, especially on the West Coast right now. We got like 6 dates, but we trying to make it more. So that's between the 16th and the 25th. But other than that, you know, I'm gonna keep dropping, man. Keep supporting, keep streaming, keep checking out my Bandcamp, keep checking out the website. We're gonna keep it moving, man. Salute to all my low lights out there, man. 2L's up. You know what I mean? Word up.
All right. Appreciate the opportunity, Shabaam. And let's keep up. Stay in tune. I'll probably see you AC3 in October.
Yes, sir. A3C, we back at it. We back outside.
No doubt. Thanks so
Peace.
much. Peace.
All right. Thanks for having me. Peace.
No doubt.